Welcome back to the Superstream, live at CES at the Havas Cafe, and you are joining us for an incredible panel connecting culture to commerce with some brilliant talent and thought leadership from Amazon. Very lucky to have them joining us today. So introducing our guests on the panel, Molly Hopp from Havas, our EVP of Commerce here at Havas Media Network. We're also introducing Tanner Elton, Vice President of US Advertising Sales for Amazon. And last but by no means least, it is Wayne Purbo, VP of Amazon Shoppable Video. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
So Tanner, let's start with you. When folks think of Amazon, they may think, of course, of Amazon.com and Prime or even AWS. I've just mentioned three things there, but there's so much more to Amazon. Help us understand what the bigger picture looks like.
That's a great insight there, that it's more than just Amazon.com, more than AWS. And it is, even though it is the place where people go to get their stuff, as it is in most cases, we're really looking for more ways to engage with customers, to enhance their experiences in their everyday life. So if that's the Alexa-enabled devices, being in the home, Amazon Music, being able to watch the shows that you love and create moments around those experiences. So at Amazon, one of our leadership principles is customer obsession. And we think about that, it's not just within the shopping experience, it's about every way that we can enhance their lives in a meaningful way.
Love that. We talk a lot about delivering great media experience. We call it MX, and I think that is critical to what Amazon is about. And Wayne, can you unpack some of this kind of evolving behavior that you're seeing from a cross-media consumer and consumption perspective?
Yeah, it's really exciting when you think about the impact that media can have, and specifically the experience. And the way I try to think about it, my mental model is thinking about how the medium really is the message. The ability for brands to open themselves up through media and engage with customers is unprecedented in our history. For so much of media, it's been a broadcast media. Whether you think about newspapers, radio, television, it's always been a one-way communication. When we think about what we can do with our media today, we allow brands to open themselves up in an authentic way to their customers, and we've never been able to do that before. And when we think about media experiences, we have to remember that this is a bi-directional communication with customers. For the very first time, we can do that. And the brands that are successful are those that do that in an authentic way. If we think about other forms of entertainment that people are participating in, for instance, things like podcasts and things like that, the ability for people to ask questions, participate in the podcast, that's what's driving the growth of this. And I think that this idea that consumers are going to be just lean back from a media standpoint and an experience standpoint is going away. We're seeing all of our customers lean in and want to participate in those experiences.
I love that. We published a Meaningful Brands study earlier this year, and we talked about agency, consumers feeling increasingly a sense of agency. So I love you centering us on that idea that this is this two-way communication. Consumers aren't just passive. And great to hear, Marshall McLuhan, the medium is the message, undefeated from a media theory perspective, even in 2025. So Molly, let's come to you now. How's this affecting the way brands are thinking about their media mix?
Yeah, am I on? Yeah. Cool. Hello. I think number one is we need to desegment how we're approaching media. Mm-hmm. And so a huge challenge is that before we're even thinking about the brand or thinking about what the consumer needs, we're saying this is where the retail media budget goes. This is where the national budget goes. And I think by instead removing that segmentation and being able to think about the budget and the experience holistically, you're going to have a lot more success, especially in terms of optimizing and utilizing the entire Amazon ecosystem. You already touched on this, but it really also is almost removing the language of media and thinking more in terms of content and experience and delivering that based on what consumers and humans are telling you that they want and how they want to experience it. And so it's really just removing the entire kind of thought of media mix and more thinking about what do consumers want and how do you deliver on that.
I love that. I mean, you and I have talked quite a lot before about how people don't necessarily see themselves as shoppers or consumers or even viewers of media. Can you unpack that a little bit more, going off what you were just saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a continuation that we as an agency, we as brands, we as a platform, we're often really precious of defining where someone is in the funnel, who they are is the segmentation, when they don't think of themselves that way. And when they don't think of themselves that way, they're also not thinking about the experience that they want in that way. So it's really, again, back to what I was saying, which is what is the intent that they're showing you? How can you best deliver on that intent? And again, remove some of our obsession with defining who someone is and instead think about what they need.
I love that. When we're thinking here at Havas about converged and convergence and this concept of media experiences, I think that's a strong way of kind of making sure we're not sometimes just thinking about, hey, maybe sometimes we notice the ads, but consumers don't, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's thinking about that experience and removing kind of our agency lens.
Yeah, love that. So Tanner, let's jump into now thinking about kind of content creation. What are you thinking about creators in terms of versus creators and kind of traditional advertising? Although Molly's quite rightly already corrected me for using that kind of semantics.
Yeah, I think Wayne touched on this a little bit, that the way that we engage with customers is richer now than it's ever been. And it's innately because we are very curious. We're a very curious species. Mm-hmm. And so when we're able to provide more ways to engage and interact, it changes the way you think about the content that you have. When you do that with relevancy and authentically, that's when you can enhance that experience in a way that really changes how you think about the content creation. So now it's not just, can we create a show that's going to entertain you? That's table stakes, right? Now that we've created a show that's going to entertain you, what are the ways that we can allow you to have a richer experience by going deeper into that show? How do we make sure that the advertising that's part of that show has a level of relevancy, so if it sparks curiosity in you, you can learn more and go deeper into that experience? And what we found as we've done that is we respond well to it. Consumers like that experience, and it actually enhances in many ways their viewing experience the more you go into that. So at Amazon, we have things like X-Ray, which allow you to go deeper into content to see, well, who is that? What are they wearing? Create shoppable experiences in that. And the response has been phenomenal. So when you think about how we're creating content, what does content creation mean? It means it's not just this one thing anymore. It's all these different areas where you can engage in meaningful ways to enhance the curiosity that people naturally have.
I think that's a fascinating example, and X-Ray from a product perspective for consumers is great because it's it's not a disruptive experience, and it allows you to kind of go into that in a way that works seamlessly with the content. So what are you learning about how consumers want to engage with products in this kind of context?
That advertising is a good thing.
No.
Yeah, it actually is.
Hold the front page. You heard it here first.
And you know what? A year ago we introduced advertising into Prime Video, which was a huge deal for us. And there was a lot of thought that went into it. And one of the concerns that a number of people had was, is it going to distract from this experience? Are people going to leave the service because we've introduced advertising into it? Or are they going to opt out of it in droves? That didn't happen. The video consumption increased. The shows that we launched in 2024 were the biggest shows that we've ever had. And the advertising experience was met with phenomenal feedback from our customers. So again, it goes to relevancy. Are we putting things in it that enhance that experience, that is meaningful to that customer? And when we do that, brands benefit as well. So it's a win-win-win situation when we think about that, and the signals that we're getting from customers, the signals we're getting from brands, is that it's working.
Yeah, it really feels like a moment here where we're evolving that idea of what a media experience is. And Wayne, I'm going to come to you now specifically around shoppable video. Can you center us from a product perspective on that in this broader cultural conversation?
And first and foremost, I've been asked a lot of times, we've been on a mission at Amazon to introduce more and more video in the shopping experience. And folks have asked me why we're doing that because, a lot of people just use .com as a utility. They do a quick search, they find the product, and they purchase it. And for a long time, the key metrics for Amazon were all about how quickly you could find that product, make a purchase, and be on your way. What we found that video does is that we see, one, our best customers watch a video before they make a purchase. Our best customers spend more after they've watched a video. Folks who, one of the creator stats that I like to refer to is when we survey our customers, 71% of them say they feel better about their purchases because they've heard the recommendation from a creator. 96% of customers that watch Amazon Live session will then take action regarding that brand or that product that they've seen in the stream immediately after they've seen that stream. So we know that video is doing its job. We see lower returns for people that watch video. We know that video is doing its job in helping customers make great purchase decisions. And we want to look for new opportunities across .com to introduce video to help customers do that.
So let's talk about live shopping in a bit more depth. Where's live shopping going? We're seeing some differences across countries. We're seeing some differences in experiences. What's your view for live shopping ahead, in as much as you can share?
There's for me there's a couple of different solves that live shopping enables. One, we make purchases for different reasons. Some of the time, we are a fan of someone, a creator, could be an actor, some sort of an influencer, we're a fan, and we just want to buy everything that they touch. And you see, traditionally you've seen, things like Martha Stewart being able to sell a bunch of stuff just based on the Martha Stewart brand. But then you see other people, like we have Paige DeSorbo in the beauty category, or Lala Kent, who just had a baby, who's selling a ton of baby stuff for us right now. Folks are just drawn to these personalities and the authenticity of these personalities, and they want to work with those recommendations. But what live allows them to do is to engage with those personalities. So you get the examples of folks, and I can't remember which influencer it was, but she was asked by someone through the chat to change the shoes that she was wearing with a pair of pants because they wanted to see how the brown shoes would look versus the black shoes that she was wearing. This is the type of engagement that customers want. They want to lean in. And what it does, what Live does, specifically in North America, it's really great for high consideration products.
Interesting.
Because customers can go deeper and brands can talk more about their products and what differentiates their products and why you should be engaged with these products and answer questions. And so customers in one live session can go from awareness, new product they never heard of before, but they like the creator, to asking questions through the chat and traversing through that consideration phase, and then clicking on the carousel and buying the product, all in one session. Now, I know that doesn't always align with our traditional marketing strategies. And so that's one of the headwinds Live faces, is that it's just as good as of an awareness product as it is a conversion product. And the brands that have really leveraged it and done really well have recognized that customers come in with different intent and build live streams to support that. North America is different. When I got started at Amazon 4 years ago, we were very, very creator-led. What we found was customers appreciated the creator-led, but they needed to hear some more brand voices. And so over the last couple of years, we've been leaning in more directly with brands and helping brands tell their stories, marrying them with creators, and creating a different model than what you see in China, where brands, a lot of the purchases don't have to be supported by a brand. what we're seeing in North America, what we're seeing in Europe is brands need to lean in a lot harder on live than they do in the rest of the world.
I think that's fascinating insight. We are going to see shortly an incredible live shopping experience developed with a brilliant brand in terms of showing that experience. And there's a couple of things that I want to pick up on that in terms of that idea of compression of the funnel into that moment, and also the need for this isn't the same context as it is in China or perhaps elsewhere. Molly, would you want to sort of speak to that for a moment in terms of your thinking around these kind of shop or commerce moments being something that is full funnel, isn't a discrete experience?
Yeah, I think two things, and I think it answers what you're asking. Number one is what's been a really interesting time, 2024, 2025, is the impact that the pandemic had, and I think our misunderstanding of how people would or would not return to the real world.
Yeah.
People did. They've gone back to brick and mortar. They want that shopping experience. But what I really like about shoppable experiences, shoppable media, is that it kind of capitalizes on people's need to go back to more of an experience versus a utilitarian, but not necessarily still have to leave the comfort that they found when they didn't have to leave their couch. So I think just, again, looking at it in terms of what customers want, what humans want, I think that's really interesting. Something that's maybe a divergence from what you're asking, but I do think is also interesting when we're thinking about how we understand both an omni-channel experience and again, who we're talking to, is that I think there's often a misperception that retail media and retail and shopper data are one and the same, but they're not. And so everything that we're learning across, Amazon Live, but the entire ecosystem is technically, or I guess we define it as retail and shopper data. But what we're doing really well at Havas is taking those insights and really understanding how that allows us to understand who, again, people are, who audiences are, and not just using it to inform on what is a traditional retail media activation, which I think is a really exciting time for us.
I think that's brilliant. It's also like you're looking at my next question here, which
I can't read that part.
It's for Tanner and Wayne. But I think picking up on what Molly was saying, Amazon have a kind of unique richness of data there, and it gives you an advantage in kind of creating these experiences. Can you both talk to that a little?
Yeah, I think the innovation in this space is incredible right now. A lot of it's happening within Wayne's, I'm going to say within Wayne's world, because it is a party time. No, what I love about it is, for so long you have this instance with brands where you end up talking to consumers, giving you the information, and then we talk about what's the difference between live, and how do you bridge that gap of people going back into brick and mortar, and it needs to be this meaningful experience. So you're talking with them. It becomes a shared experience. And when I think about the value of going to make a purchase or a consideration when I have a friend with me, that I can say, are you in this with me? Can I bounce this idea off of you? That type of innovation is happening with e-commerce as well. Whether it's shoppable video, whether it's Amazon Live and the things that we're doing there, whether it's the type of dynamic creatives that are being put in front of people at the right moment, at the right time, that allows them to expand on their curiosity, feel really good about the decisions that they're making. Like, all that is happening right now, and the speed in which we're innovating is pretty incredible.
I want to reinforce what Molly said, and she said it really well, so I'm not going to restate it. But the mental model that we have when we think about building these experiences is, how can we remove the glass?
Yeah.
Right? Let's remove the glass between the creator, between the influencer, and the customer, so that they can have a conversation. And how do we give just as much capability to the consumer to tell us what they like? Again, getting more data, asking for feedback, and have that be more of a two-way conversation. So mental model that, like, my team and myself have is, let's remove the glass, right? And have this one-to-many sort of conversation. The other side of this is, we have to recognize that consumers are going to change drastically over the next few years. And one of the things that we are noticing at Amazon Live is, when we think about customers coming to Amazon, they're no longer just, hey, I want to search for AirPods. They're saying, they're coming with a problem to us. They're being educated by their interactions with ChatGPT, Perplexity, all of these AI engines, and they're proposing prompts to us, right? That have a lot more data about what the problem they're trying to solve is. You know, you get prompts like, should I be looking at open ear versus in-ear headphones, right? I need a present for a 10-year-old who loves science but doesn't like music. You know, we're seeing much more in-depth and prompt requests at Amazon. And that's why we introduced Rufus. It's because customers are being educated. The way they want to interact is much more specific, much more decorated with information that allows us to come up with an answer for them. And I think we have to recognize that in all of these experiences cannot just be an experience. It has to solve a customer problem. It has to answer some question for it to be effective.
That's really interesting. We saw a lot on the floor yesterday around the use of LLMs to create not a layer of abstraction, I'm phrasing that incorrectly, but a layer of explanation. I'm going to use your phrase, removing the glass, right? It's sort of an easier way of interacting, a more human way of interacting, and often being able to explain some quite complex things as well in a way that consumers find additive and nice to use rather than disruptive. So really, really interesting to see that coming in from a sort of Rufus perspective. I want to think about the kind of Tanner, unless you wanted to jump in. So I want to think about it from a sort of broader Amazon perspective as well, in terms of the whole ecosystem. Molly, you do a lot of work thinking about this, and as Wayne said, no one does say it better than you. In terms of the Havas side, how are we thinking about this broader ecosystem through a converged lens? How is it helping us deliver for clients?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll go a bit back to what I said previously, which is if we're thinking about, you know, when we do touch on AMC, when we do touch on what is the depth of data, I think it's, again, really using that in a way that we're not biased and what media it's informing, but instead that it's informing what is the right experience. And what you started to talk about, Wayne, is really interesting that we also lean into, which is a recent finding, to meander a second, is that within the cold and flu category, people are more likely to go to Amazon and search what the right solution is than they are on Google, which is amazing that people actually look to Amazon as almost their doctor to help solve for what are my symptoms and what are the solutions.
You talk quite a bit about how it's Dr. Amazon, not Dr. Google.
So I got distracted for a second, but that is also where we use the behavior and how people are using both utilitarian as well as experiential on Amazon to really inform, again, how we're understanding the brand and consumers.
Yeah, we're going to see a brilliant live shopping experience in a moment, which kind of brings some of that to light and kind of making the decisions on what's the right product for me, what's the right product for the moment, and bringing all of these things together. And we, do have those capabilities across the live shopping experiences, across Rufus, but also potentially going up through other media experiences into Prime and across the Amazon stack in future, perhaps. So we're about to see a cutting-edge live shopping experience, which is going to be coming to us live from New York, which is very exciting.
Yeah, if it works, if everything goes well.
It's going to, live, quick curse the live broadcast. I think we should just dig into this with the three of you. What's kind of, we talked a little bit about this, the idea of compressing the funnel, the idea of removing the glass, the customer focus. But what is so impactful? Why does this work? And what's the future for this kind of experience and thinking about how it can deliver for brands?
Yeah, I can go. I'll go first. I'm just going to take what you guys have both said, though. That's okay, because I thought it was very well said. I think I will go back to what I said at the beginning, which is, human beings are innately incredibly curious. Mm-hmm. And as Wayne talks about, the types of searches that we have are no longer, this is what I want. It's, I want to have a conversation with you. And that conversation is leading to more curiosity and more finding, and it's giving us a plethora of rich data to enhance that experience. So when you think about what's coming, it's more of that. It's more of breaking the glass, having meaningful conversations, enhancing those experiences, and it's going to happen because of the advancements in technology that we have, because we can actually have conversations to get to the right outcome for customers, it's going to be more meaningful to them. So that's what's really exciting to me is just relevancy and how it's going to enhance everything that we do.
Love that.
Plus one to everything Tanner said. I think this idea of agency and having that agent that knows you, that understands your purchase behavior, but understands you more broadly, is going to help us to serve our customers and serve brands better. And so I am really excited for a future that has, lower frustration of our customers, lower returns. They're going to get the right products. And we also foresee being able to use the data to develop new products and help our brands and selling partners understand evolutions in customer purchase behaviors, understand evolutions of customer problems, and then work with them to come up with solutions. So it's just a much more efficient and effective future. I was talking to somebody about how did we come up with the size of peanut butter jars, and it's one of those conversations that's ridiculous, but if you know my friends, you'll understand why we have these kinds of conversations. But how did we come up with this size, right? And there's no scientific reason around, consumption or how you would expect that the size of a Kraft peanut butter jar is the size it is.
And that's great marketing, isn't it? It's so much that's data driven, but there is that human element. And Molly, that's something you think about a lot.
Yeah, I should have gone first, dang it. Or do we need to stop?
Let's go. We've got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Okay, really quick.
Molly's going to lead us.
Wayne, you touched on this, which is because consumers, shoppers are telling us so much of what they want, it can inform in product, and we can start to reinvest dollars in enhancing the product and the brand, and not just throwing it into more media for reach. Done.
Yes.
Well said.
I mean,
Well said.
Incredible. So with that incredible lead in, more dollars, not just reach, and we're going to see an incredible live shopping media experience right now. Thank you to our panel. We'll be back after this live experience.
Hey, just one sec. There is a barcode that's in front of you.
Yep.
If you'd like to participate in the live shopping experience, please scan the barcode and join the stream.
Yes.
And we'd love you to interact and chat and just have fun with it, okay?
Happy shopping, everyone.
All right, well, we got this break. Everybody get their phones out.
Is that Wayne that I see over there? Wayne, I've been working on my pickleball swing. I should be ready in like 2 years. I'll be ready, so I hope you're ready. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Havas partners, to Live with Live. I'm Devin Simone, and as we kick off 2025, we're embracing new year, new you. For some of y'all, maybe even a new boo. Not just for us, but for the brands we love and the customers we all serve. Now, before we dive in, let's take a quick look at how Amazon Live has transformed brand experiences over this past year.
Hello! Welcome to Amazon Live. We are live from Amazon Port right here in Cannes, France. I don't know if you can feel the vibe. We're here in Miami and we've been so excited.
It's a special epic vacation experience with Virgin Voyages.
Whoa-wee! It turns Cheetos into delicious Cheeto dust. This could go on literally anything.
My youngest, all about the sweet and salty.
Let's unbox this right now. Let's turn and look at this. Why am I whispering? I don't know why I'm whispering. It requires a little bit of...
Cheers! Look how beautiful this is right now.
Welcome to Temptations Lickables Live!
Here we go!
We are live from the Sunshine State. We're here to share travel essentials and all about a chance to win a trip.
Welcome to the world premiere of the all-new Mitsubishi Outlander.
I am here at Samsung Galaxy Unpacked. There's a lot of new tech here.
If you do anything, you have to go get the Flick Stick. It's gonna save you all summer long.
Something's happening. Oh my goodness! Sasquatch! It's Jack Link's. It's the original beef jerky.
Inspiring, isn't it? Today we'll explore how your brands can create similarly immersive and fun experiences. I see in the chat, someone said, ooh, vibes. Nicole also said, Cheetos are my vice. I feel you on that, Nicole. Shout out to Jess as well. Jade said, love Poppy. Just a reminder, we are live, so make sure you're dropping your questions, your comments right in the chat so we can shout out and say hello. And it won't just be me, my friend JD. Roberto is here as well to join in on the fun. You'll be seeing him momentarily. And all the products that we're showing you today are indeed shoppable. This is the real deal. They're available in the carousel below, so make sure you grab your favorites, add it to the cart, and don't forget to shop now. Okay, new year, right? What is it like? I don't know, the 8th, the 9th? So it's new year, new you. We want to focus on wellness routine. We want to focus on being our best selves, which is really great. And we're fortunate because we have some things that allow us to feel our best and be our best thanks to Opella's trusted brands. First, we have Icy Hot. Now, I heard that some of you over there had Amazon After Dark last night, which means you were out late, maybe you were doing a little dancing. Now, you and I both know that maybe, just maybe, the joints aren't jointing like they used to. They might be a little sore, and this is no judgment. Friend to friend, I'm here, okay? Icy Hot. It's icy to dull the pain and hot to relax it away. So if you're feeling a little achy and sore, you might want to kick into this. This is also really great for muscle recovery and supporting active lifestyle. So if you are someone who maybe likes to hit the gym or play basketball or play pickleball, then you want to keep some Icy Hot in your medicine cabinet for those moments that you need a little relaxation on those sore muscles. And as someone who once took that allergy test, you know that pinprick test where they line it up and then they do the little pinpricks, and was allergic to about 30 things, including something called Timothy. I thought that was a guy I went to middle school with. I didn't realize it is also a grass. I am in fact allergic to it. I'd like to say thank you to Allegra, because Allegra has been with me through it all for a very long time as a chronic allergy sufferer. And so I love Allegra, and anybody else who has allergies will probably loves and appreciates Allegra too. Shout out to Nicole in the chat who said I'm looking fab. Thank you guys so much. And Jade, you guys are so kind. Jade also said, I love Icy Hot post-workout. Yes, Jade, Icy Hot is the real deal, and we absolutely love it. So think about it. We're in the new year. It's wintertime. We're making sure that we're taking care of our muscles. We're making sure that we're taking care of any allergy needs. And now, you know, it's cold outside. It's dry. You're in Vegas. We want to make sure that you're taking care of your skin as well. I'm going to throw it over to my friend JD because he's got some great ideas of how you can make sure you're taking care of your skin too. What you got, JD?
I'll tell you what I've got, Devin. It's all about hydration. Hey, everybody, I'm JD. Listen, we're talking about New Year, New You, right? We're talking about wellness, but mostly we're talking about building new habits and new routines to sort of take care of yourself and take care of your body. What is the largest organ in your body? You can all shout it out there in Vegas. It's your skin. Your skin is an organ. You've got to take care of your skin. You've got to stay hydrated. If you want to look as young and radiant and beautiful as Devin does, well, that requires a good skincare routine. And the way you can do that is just by moisturizing on a regular basis. Check out the Gold Bonds. First of all, there's a lot to love about this Gold Bond. This is Gold Bond Healing Hydrating Lotion. It has got aloe in it. Are you even allowed to have a moisturizer that doesn't have aloe in it? I don't think you are. You shouldn't. It's really fantastic. I will tell you, I'm getting my hand modeling going right now because I have moisturized with this Gold Bond all day long, and it is so good. Lee in the chat says this is so necessary for winter. It really is. Hey, you're all out in Vegas where the air is already really dry. You're all probably engaging in activities during the evening that might leave you dehydrated the next day. Just a guess, no judgment, but you also might be a little dry. And for those of us that live in cold weather climates, when we crank up the heat and dry out the air during the winter, man, your skin just takes such a beating. This is a great opportunity to make sure that you are moisturizing every day. And moisturizing, by the way, is preventative. One of the things I love, first of all, no parabens, no dyes, and no phthalates in this as well. Immediate 24-hour hydration. The whole point of hydrating is to make sure that you prevent dehydration. You shouldn't be playing catch up. You shouldn't wait till you wake up in the morning and you got the cracked skin and you just feel awful about it. You should be hydrating your skin in advance. I know that I need to all the time. I live in one of those old pre-war New York buildings where we don't control the heat. Nothing is hotter in New York than a day in February when the heat has been cranked up, and I'm telling you what, you've got to be moisturizing. So check this out. Have some on hand. This lasts a long time. By the way, another way to hydrate, liquid IV. Why not do a little liquid IV? So simple to use, really delicious. I know that I suspect that Wayne was lighting it up last night at Amazon after dark. Maybe you need a little hydration, Wayne. I'm just guessing. I'm just saying. But you can get that with liquid IV as well, which is great. This is a terrific way, low calorie, but a great way to get. What do you get in here? Niacin, vitamin B, potassium, vitamin C. Liquid IV saved me on New Year's Eve. Oh, and it's really good. Easy to make, easy to carry with you. Like, throw a couple of these in a backpack or a purse and you're good to go. Jade said, Liquid IV saved me after New Year's Eve. Looks like you lit it up a little bit during New Year's Eve. Listen, you want to stay hydrated, you want to take care of yourself, you want to build these new routines, and we are always showing up with products that are going to help you do exactly that. You can check them out in the carousel below. And now, the hydration queen, the woman whose skin is evidence of how you just got to take good care of yourself. Hi, Devin.
I brought you presents.
How you doing? You did. Icy hot. Devin looked at me and said, that's a guy that looks like he's got sore knees. Yeah, okay.
You should keep it in your
Icy
medicine
hot.
cabinet. It's one of those things that you should just have with you, and allergy meds.
Okay,
Do your kids have allergies?
No, I'm allergic to cats. And can I tell you that growing up, like Allegro was like the thing. I had to have it. And I also like that it's 24-hour because I'm not going to remember. If I just put it somewhere, take it right before bed, 24 hours, it's good. Yeah. See, it's good to have it. See, we're not just talking about the things. We use the things. We have the things. But by the way, we're not the only ones who have the things. You're about to have the things too. Yeah.
You get a surprise, and you get a surprise, and you get a surprise.
Should I jump on the couch? Should I channel I'll jump up and down on the couch. No, I won't. We've got a little bit of a New Year giveaway kit for everybody attending the meeting. It has been awesome chatting with you. You want to hydrate?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hydrate. I'm going to have a drink.
Okay,
I'll let you do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us, everybody. Check out these products in the carousel below. Don't forget to get your New Year, New You kit, and we'll see you soon on Amazon Live.
It's a lot of fun, and like they said, we've got a little kit for you before you leave here today.
I mean, what a great experience, and definitely. There we go, stuff coming through. Definitely, also, I think a hand for the team at Appella. I'm a Gold Bond fan. That was a great experience. I love that. So.
Yeah, good job. By the way, as soon as they showed Icy Hot, I was like, yeah, there's something going on.
Some of us are knees, some of us are skinned. It's all covered.
Some of us are both.
Yeah, hydration is very important. But yeah, I mean that was a really super fun experience, right? So let's close off now with a couple of remarks from each of you. I guess Wayne, you've kind of talked a little bit about where the live product's heading. Give us a bit more on the future. Anything you can share about what's coming through?
I think the key word is anything I can share. We're going to continue to have a lot of fun with this. I'm really excited about the opportunities, not just for Amazon, for all our selling partners, for all the brands. I think this just opens up a whole new way, whole new method, whole new medium for customers to interact with their favorite products. So it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Love that. So, Tanner, can you kind of tell us how this fits in a little bit to Amazon's broader vision and maybe kind of tell us a bit more about everything that Amazon has to offer consumers and brands?
It's connecting with customers when they're connecting with content that they love and making it as easy as possible for that connection to lead to commerce.
I absolutely love that. We, again, talking about... We shouldn't talk about retail media. We should just talk about media, or maybe we shouldn't talk about media. We should just talk about customer experience. So, Molly, the hard question. But so coming to you, we're going to bring all this together. What are brands thinking about for 2025 and beyond?
Well, first, I'm just glad I know that Ben's a Gold Bond guy.
Yeah.
I love Gold Bond. I mean, I only recently discovered it, so not long here, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think just going back to a lot of what I said, number one is desegment those budgets so that you can actually solve for what the customer and the consumer needs. Number two is that old is new again, and people are really looking to engage in the real world and engage in a deeper way that's not utilitarian. And so think about your brand experiences in that way. And I think last one that we talk a lot about, which is think about success in terms of business KPIs and business impact, and not media KPIs. And that's where you're really gonna be successful.
Love that. Thank you so much for that closing remarks. An amazing live media experience, and can't wait to see what comes next. I better get my hands on some gold bonds.
Yeah. Thank you.